Man, it's your big brother K-Rino, man. Let me drive home a point to y'all. Stop looking for a cosign from the wrong people, man. Stop looking for a cosign from the wrong people. Um, and I want y'all to listen to what I'm about to say in terms of giving y'all this game on how to know if you're on the right track. We can look around every day, whether you're watching the news, whether you're just walking around through your everyday life. You can see the people and the companies and the entities that are out here corrupting the world, out here committing the evil, the mass evils that we see around the world. You can see who's orchestrating those things if you would just pay a little attention. Just kind of keep your eyes open and just kind of watch things and not get so caught up in your life and the little frivolous little things that we like to do in life. We let those things consume us, and there are bigger things going on that are right in our face. Um, all it takes is a little research. All it takes is a little study of history and a little just observation of what's going on in the current world. And you can see where government has been corrupt. You can see where um, religion has been corrupt. You can see where the educational system has been corrupt. You can see where uh, the judicial system has been corrupt. And those are probably the big four. Would y'all agree that that's the big four? What am I leaving out? But those are probably the big four. If there's anything else I'm forgetting, y'all leave it in the comments. But when any of those institutions come out against you when you are working to do right, and definitely the government, definitely the judicial system, um, then those are clear-cut signs that you on the right path. See, we make the mistake of seeking validation from the devil himself. If they don't give us a stamp, then our work is in vain in our mind, in our delusional mind. Or even if we understand that, there may be somebody else who spreads that message of, well, I mean, uh, such and such don't agree with that. Such and such don't endorse that. And it's like, you should be thinking, I know, good. Absolutely. They don't agree with that. They don't endorse that because what you standing on, if it's right, what you standing on is the right thing that should be stood on. And when you have different plots and agendas in place that want to oppose that or destroy what's right, then you gotta not only understand, you gotta also expect that opposition. You gotta expect it coming in the door. You gotta already like, okay, well, yeah, I saw this coming. We make the mistake a lot of times of being shocked when uh, the enemy comes out against us. And one of the reasons why we make that mistake is because, unfortunately, a lot of us don't recognize who the enemy is. We don't recognize who the enemy is, and we don't recognize the different forms that the enemy comes in. And that's very important. It's very important and it's very dangerous at the same time. So, um, if you're being attacked by a government when you are out exposing truths about the government's corruption, what you expect? If you see flaws in the educational system that you are going out against, if you see flaws in the judicial system that you are going out against, speaking out against, and bringing attention to, and don't let your name get up and you start to bring attention to that, you have to expect opposition. no one wants to be knocked off of their seat. No one wants to be removed from a pedestal or removed from a platform that they have attained by whatever means. Even the ones who attain those levels through dirty and corrupt means, they knew what they were striving to get to in the beginning. That's why they took the road of the corrupt road. They're like, that was the fastest way for me to get there. Right? So they don't want to relinquish that because it feeds the agenda and it also is very financially profitable in most cases. So any threat to that is going to be met with opposition. So the proper threat will be met. So the mindset to have is, hey man, be happy. Be like, okay, yeah. And I say be happy, not because you may have to go to war. Be happy because when you recognize that the evil side, the bad guys, are coming against you, then you should be happy because you know that you're on God's side. And when you know that you're on God's side, then now you know that He's on your side. And if He's on your side, you already won. You the winner. You the winner. So don't get discouraged or panicked, when the enemies and the opposers come out against you, man. I don't care. We talk about record labels and all this different stuff, we talk about media. Maybe those are the other media was probably that fifth entity that I didn't mention early on. That side of media that contributes to slander campaigns and propaganda against somebody who's doing right. They'll make people think you're crazy and all this old different stuff. That's a whole other story, but it still feeds into what I'm talking about. They're going to say all manner of things about you. But when you know that you're speaking that truth, just keep going. Keep moving forward. Keep pushing. And don't be discouraged or intimidated. And don't be discouraged or intimidated by the shaping of public opinion. Because the artificial information that will be put out against you can and will, in a lot of cases, shape the minds of people who are not strong enough or not intelligent enough to do their homework or to recognize or who've been deceived by those same powers that are coming after you. So they'll use the people against you. But in the end, God ain't never been one to be dependent on numbers. He ain't dependent on numbers because He don't need none of us. His power is independent of all of us. So whoever He decides to choose and use to get the win, to bring the win home, He'll do it how He want to do it. He can use one person or He can use 1,000 people. It doesn't matter. So keep your head up, man. I hope this message hits somebody who needs to hear it. If you're doing right and speaking right and standing up against wrong, then and wrong comes out against you, you know you're doing right. If you ever doubt that. All right, man, it's your big brother, K-Rino. Y'all go subscribe to the Underground Dialogue podcast right here on YouTube. Go check out the new Bun B interview that we just put up and support the channel, and as well as this one too, man. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.